Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, December 2nd, 2023, and this is my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. People, this particular episode is, I think, very important. I'm going to ask you to please share this and get it out there. Let's talk about the situation here. What do you and I know clearly is going on? The world today, under the rulership, of course, of central banks, is moving towards a new system. I've been warning about this new system for over 10 years. Specifically, I have said a new set of rules is coming. A new paradigm is coming. And it appears that we are extremely close to something major occurring. And I want to talk about that. So there's a lot of speculation about where the financial system is going. In my opinion, and I think this is pretty widespread, people who understand what's going on, and that would be you if you follow this blog, realize that the powers that be here, and again I'm referring to the central banking system, including the World Bank, the IMF, the BIS, these institutions have already told us clearly what they want. They want a cross-border way of conducting transactions without restraint of whatever may lie in that pathway. So this is what's happening here. We've heard about this, and I believe some of you out here are going to say, oh yeah, this sounds familiar, but this is where we are going, to a completely tokenized system. Now, what does this actually mean, tokenized? So what is going to happen here using blockchain technology is assets across the board, and I'm talking about real estate, stocks, mutual funds, commodities, including your own identity and everything else that's associated with you personally, is going to be reduced to a digital token or a tokenized system. Now, what's the benefit of this tokenized system? Exactly what they have already told us they're working towards. Again, don't take my word for this. Go to the Bank of International Settlements website. The BIS is the central bank of central banks. Their mission statement is to create a one world cross-border system, and this is it. I'm not saying this is the end all, but this is clearly the next phase to bring us to wherever they're going to bring us to. And there's more facets to this than meets the eye. So let's talk about that real quick. So what they're going to do, clearly, is, again, you're going to be able to convert whatever currency you have anywhere in the world, whatever your assets may be, again, to these tokens. And these tokens are going to be able to be traded across borders and everything else with any kind of restraint behind it. The scary part of this, and this is what I believe they're looking to do, it's not just about what we perceive, you and I, as tradable or convertible assets, this currency being converted into that currency. Now, if you have, for example, a token, this eliminates a lot of the nonsense that is going to be associated with having to convert one currency into another. This token is going to be easily convertible to anything virtually instantly. You understand? And again, this is not just dollars. This is going to be, everything is going to be reduced to a digital token, including all of your personal information. So what this tells me is there's something pretty diabolic going on here. If they can reduce, let's say, someone's identity and everything else associated with that person to a digital tokenized thing, human life, or what's associated to a particular person, is also going to become a tradable asset. I want you to think about that. This is where we're going. I mean, clearly, this is pretty much in our face here. So be ready for this. In my view, this is it. This is where we're going. This tokenized system where everything, every single thing you can imagine is going to be reduced to a token, which of course is going to use blockchain technology. I mean, I want to hear from you. How many of you think that what I'm saying is far-fetched or is not going to happen? I'd be willing to bet that most of you who are listening to this are going, wow, this is exactly what's going to happen. And it's not, again, so much with regard to the currency or financial assets. It's going to be everything is going to be reduced to a tradable token, including everything about you. So they're going to reduce everything to some type of way to make money via this, even human life. And there's going to be a lot of bets against it moving forward, because I believe, and I've told you this like forever, and I've taken a lot of heat for this, but I think a lot of you are on the same page as me. They want to, again, extort as much control as they can out of us, okay? And in order to do that, not only do they need a complete consolidation of the system, which is clearly in play right now, and hold that thought, because we got to talk more about that, so just hang around a little bit here. But again, this has to do with, unfortunately, a reduction in the population of the world. I really believe this is going to occur. They're already doing it via any mechanism that they possibly can, and more is coming. A lot more is coming down the pike here. So anyway, with regard to this whole tokenized system, I want you to think about what this means. Not just, again, for your currency, which will be cross-border, easily accessible, easily tradable, but everything on these tokens here, including every single thing about you, whether you got this, whether you've whatever you do. Again, it's a system of that almost seems like science fiction in a way, but having everything about you and everything about it reduced to a token. Sounds kind of interesting, doesn't it? And again, something that's easily tradable across borders and everything else. That's where we're going. No doubt about it in my book. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about this issue of liquidity that I've covered a million times. And honestly, I think I've covered this before anybody else here. I'm not tooting my own horn here, but this is our thing, and we've called this before anybody else. So we understand that liquidity is drying up. The system is illiquid. The entire system is insolvent. It operates in a perpetual vacuum, a black hole that can never be filled. So this is an interesting little piece of news that we got. So Michael Barr, who's the Fed Vice Chair on Supervision for the banks, he's urging, I want you to think about what I'm about to tell you. This thing, another thing, okay, subhuman entity in my view, is urging the financial institutions to take advantage of what's called the Federal Reserve discount window. What is this for? This is a mechanism where banks who are maybe facing a liquidity issue, because again, no deposits. In fact, deposits are being withdrawn from these banks faster than we've ever seen in history. You're not allowed to know that. These are, in my view, it's bank runs that are going on. People are pulling their cash out for many reasons. Okay, but the bottom line is you're not allowed to know what's going on. That these financial institutions are seeing withdrawals on a scale that we've never seen before. Not only are these banks dealing with issues with regard to deposits that are being pulled, no loans, no deals. They have the issue of massive exposure to bad debt, not just government debt, which these institutions have loaded up on, debt yielding nothing. In a rising rate environment, these institutions have watched their balance sheets value evaporate on the back of that. And also loan defaults, which are skyrocketing, and they have nowhere to go but worse from here. So the Federal Reserve, this thing, Michael Barr, and if that offends you that I'm calling him a thing, I don't apologize. He's urging these institutions to use or utilize the Federal Reserve's discount window to acquire funding. This is exactly what you and I have been speaking about. Again, they're going to keep propping this system up. I want you to understand something else that's going on, and I think it's pretty evident here. Okay. We've watched a phenomenon occur that I mean is literally getting no attention. That is, again, we went from a bear market in debt, the most vicious bear market in debt we've ever seen in history, to all of a sudden a raging bull market in debt. And this new raging bull market in debt, you tell me, I'm going to give you one guess as to who's buying all the debt, because you and I have spoken about this, like, I don't know for how freaking long now. Okay. This new bull market in debt is causing bond yields to drop. This is obviously the Federal Reserve buying all the debt. And that, again, opens up a window for cash to make its way into the stock market. There are a couple of things going on here that you and I called before it happened. Again, we said the Federal Reserve would more than likely buy more debt to keep the system propped up, especially during the selection cycle of the new president, who's already been chosen. You know that. That's the illusion of the market is a very powerful thing. I don't have to discuss it again. You all know that, okay? Propping up the stock market via any mechanism that they can. And that means, again, providing liquidity here by buying all the debt. And this is an illusion. This liquidity, okay, is being created out of nothing. Again, for those of you that don't know or are maybe new here, when a central bank says they're going to do something, for example, in this case, the Federal Reserve saying, hey, you know what we're going to do, everyone? We're going to keep rates at X. The federal funds rate, the overnight lending rate. Okay, they can't just say that. They have to get into the market. They have to add digits to a screen in whatever amount they have to buy because they have to purchase the debt to keep rates suppressed. You understand? It's artificial. And that mechanism here is tricking the market into believing it's more liquid than it is. But don't listen to me. How about Michael Barr, who's saying that banks are becoming more liquid than they already are? They got to understand, the banks, again, operate in a perpetual vacuum. It's a black hole. We have a zero reserve system. This is another reason why they can't allow you to know that people are pulling the cash out of these institutions, because they fear bank runs more than anything else. Because if you and I and everybody else all of a sudden went to your institution and started pulling out cash, there'd be none to get. There'd be zero. It's an unbelievable situation. You're talking about a digital system. There only exists about $1.5 trillion of actual printed dollars on the planet. That's it. That's all. And if you don't believe me, go to the Federal Reserve's own website. They'll tell you how much currency is in circulation. Look it up for yourself. All right. The rest of it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not on the elemental chart. You understand? We're already moving to this digital system very, very rapidly. And this new tokenized system, this is where we're going. Every single thing is going to be reduced to a token, including everything about you. Human life is going to be reduced to a token, which is a tradable asset. Cross-border, exactly as we have been told. Okay, we didn't even have to foretell this ourselves. Okay, this mission here of the IMF, of the BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks, and central banks themselves, although they can deny it all they want to, has been to create a one world system. No more simple way to reduce it to a tokenized system. You understand? I think you do. I think you do. Anyway, going back to this market, people. It's an incredible thing. This mechanism of suppressed rates, weaker dollar, has been pushing a lot of cash into the stock market. It's not going to stop until it does. You and I don't have to guess. You and I have several tools that we can utilize to know where this is going to go. Number one tool, the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. People, this is 100% free to anyone on the planet that's smart enough to use it. It's a real-time market risk indicator. Link in the description of this video. Please click on that. Check it out if you're new. I expect this is going to fall, with some, of course, wavering here. We're going to see this drop as the 10-year yield becomes more suppressed, 10-year yield being the benchmark, the dollar on a relative strength basis, or the Dixie, also weaker. This is going to push cash into the stock market. This is going to create opportunity for you and I with regard to commodities. Period. Okay, and if we also understand that the system is going to be inflated much greater than it is now as central banks buy it all, what do you want to do here? Okay, it's pretty obvious. You want to bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. You want to be holding hard assets. Forget about digitalized tokens, okay? Because this is what they're going to sell you. Understand, I want you to be ready for this. Everything is going to be reduced to a token. And that token is going to be utilized as a cross-border worldwide system where every single thing, everything, including human life, is going to become a tradable asset. That should scare you a little bit. That should really scare you. All right, people, look, this video is getting kind of long. I could go on and on. I actually had some other stuff I want to talk to you about, but I'll save that for tomorrow. Markets, a look ahead. That's this particular one. And I will see you in the morning for my pre-market report. People, let's do this. Let's get together. Let's get this stuff out here. Tell me where you're going to hear this information. Honestly, I don't know who else is talking about this. But this is serious stuff. And now you know where this is going. And I want to hear from you about all this. Greg, you're out to lunch. You don't know what you're talking about? Well, Greg, I think you got it. I think you nailed it. Well, I want to hear from you on that. All right? Love you a lot. Please share the video. Please get it out there. Comment. Those thumbs up, people. Gets the video seen. You want people to hear this stuff? Click that thumbs up. Let's the algorithms pick it up. All right? I love all of you. Thank you for your support, love, and for your friendship for all these years. All right? Some of you have been with me for a long time. See you in the morning.